Hey everybody, welcome to the post-credit show. I'm your host, Ronnie Williams.
I'm Joshy, his brother.
And I am Gwen Williams, his mom.
And today we're talking about Fantastic Beasts and the Crimes of Grindelwald. There's no post-credit scenes for this film, but we should have a post-credits chat about it, right guys?
Yeah, absolutely.
And we also caught up on a bunch of movies this week. We saw Girl in the Spider's Web and Dr. Seuss's The Grinch. Same people brought you Minions, and we're going to do a quick review for all three of those movies and then get into a deeper discussion for the post-credit show. And if it's the first time joining us for a post-credit show, please subscribe and like our channel. And, you know, this channel is for you guys because we're trying to make a platform where you guys get at us with your comments, and we'll get your opinions out to all the millions of our viewers, potential viewers. Let's go over Dr. Seuss's The Grinch. Josh, what was it about?
Basically, if you know the story about how Grinch stole Christmas, the whole story is just like a green guy in the mountains who doesn't really like Christmas, and he just wants to get rid of it. So basically, he just tries to steal everyone's Christmas and steals everything. And yeah, you go from there. I don't know.
It's not an original plot.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the Grinch. He steals Christmas. His heart grows big, and he gives it back.
They changed it a little bit with
Cindy Lou Who
and her family, so that's
right.
Dynamic. But I think it'd be a cute little movie to see with your kids if you have kids. So.
I agree. So my review, I'd say see it before the end of the year. I think it's a good Christmas film. Take the family too.
Yeah.
How soon should you see it, Josh?
Yeah, before the end of the year. I definitely agree with that.
And I agree too. Before Christmas.
So it's we have a consensus. Very good. Let's see. Girl in the Spider's Web. They jumped 2 books ahead in with the Dragon Tattoo series. What could you give us a synopsis of Girl? Josh, you got this one? A lot happened.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's more of she tries to be a vigilante and help those, that commit crimes, especially violent crimes against women.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah. It's about a hacker, if anyone has seen the other movie.
Right.
She takes on a job, and a lot of stuff happens.
Right, yeah. It's a lot of intrigue, twists, and turns. And I saw the first movie, and, it fits fine within the same universe, I feel. Daniel Craig isn't missed all that much. But, I don't know. I'd say see it eventually. That'd be my rating. How soon would you see it, Josh?
I'd see it before the end of the year.
Before the end of the year?
Mm-hmm. I agree with that, too.
Okay. So, yeah, see it before it leaves theaters.
Yeah.
And so Crimes of Grindelwald, just before we get into the spoiler discussion and people send in their comments, how soon should people see this? And you can differentiate, like, if you've seen the first film,
So, I just read a book.
Really? Instead? Even if you've seen the first one and enjoyed the first one, you still say people should rather read a book?
See the first one, but this one, just read a book.
You'd rather read a book, okay?
Well, I thought it was interesting. If you're a big Harry Potter fan, I think you'll like it. The ending to me was a little confusing because maybe...
Oh, we'll get into that.
If you don't read the book, maybe you don't understand what's going on. I don't know how close it is to the book or not. Because I never read the book.
Well, the Fantastic Beasts is its own thing. There haven't been books written about them, at least not to my knowledge.
Okay.
I think we'll get slaughtered on that one later. But no, I think it's just the Harry Potter books.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of lore within those.
Okay.
And this is based on those lore. Like Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them is just like a name of a textbook in one of the Harry Potters. So, you know, they're just building upon what they have.
Look what Sergio said.
Finally getting some comments.
My good buddy Sergio said, see it before the third Fantastic Beast.
There you go. Good idea.
That is the... can I change my thing yet? Well, I'd suggest if you're interested in watching the series, you know, I'd say see it before you leave theaters. You know, I'm a big proponent of seeing movies in theaters, and just because of how cinematic it is, you know, and the sound. Like, we went to a theater that didn't have the best sound quality, and I think it, you know, affected our viewing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
definitely
think,
agree with that.
yeah.
But,
we're in an older theater.
Sergio, that's like even better. See it before the third Fantastic Beasts. That
Good
is
idea.
that is the one.
And Raymond Niederhoff said, don't see the second until you've seen the first.
That's another apt thing. Me and Sergio jumped into the third Maze Runner movie.
Uh-huh.
We fell asleep. Oh man, it was a big mistake. I wish that one I had read the books.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're ready to get into spoilers. Get at us, anybody who's seen the movie. I believe Sergio has. But yeah, what were some of your favorite parts? I'll throw it out there. I love that fluffy Chinese lion thing.
It's still mine.
Oh well, go into it, Josh.
Everyone loves the Chinese. I mean, I just.
Well, I always like the magical creatures.
Well, yeah, that's my favorite part is the magical creatures.
Right, Fantastic Beasts.
Yeah,
I mean,
fantastic.
I wish there was more of that. You know, just find new creatures. And I wish they just made a whole movie just like, you know, going out in like the jungle and just finding big creatures, and him taming them.
Right.
Did you? Sergio says, I heard people snoring at the Fantastic Beasts movie.
Oh my
Fell
goodness.
asleep.
I don't think that they're alone in that. This movie's getting pretty bad reviews. Legit critics. I think it's in the rotten category on Rotten Tomatoes. I think it is a divisive film. Like, I think it might be. It really is just for the Harry Potter fans. You know, like that. There were so many questions I had, and I'm like, how is this important later on? You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, is it just getting set up for the third movie, or because I was just confused at the end.
Right. The tiger thing is named Zhou. Zhou. We need a pronunciation guide, Serge. Oh, but yeah, the Zhou I really enjoyed. Like, it's what might be the only Fantastic Beast in the film. I mean, it was pretty scarce pickings. There's the parasite in the eye, the lockpick one
that
from the
was
first
gross.
one. That was gross.
When is he gonna use the water one? Did we just see him just, you know?
Yeah, he rode the water thing and they did nothing with that.
Yeah.
I mean, it was cool.
That was
cool.
one.
Yeah, maybe they should have, you know, him going in a toilet bowl and he just releases the wow.
Release the Kraken.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know, guys. Where are the Fantastic Beasts? I think audiences, like, the thing with audience scores too, is it's their expectations.
Yeah.
So if they go into a movie expecting Fantastic Beasts and don't get them, that gets you a bad score.
It's in the title.
Right. And if you expected it to be focused on Newt Scamander and the other characters we grew to love in the first film,
Yeah.
not so much.
Yeah.
And you wanted a ton of Dumbledore. You didn't get a ton of Dumbledore.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Like, everybody's like, ooh, hot, sexy Jude Law. Let's put him as Dumbledore.
Yeah. What was interesting about the movie, or not interesting, is that everybody had equal time in this movie. It was
Yes.
hard to tell who was the main character, even though.
Right, and where to put your focus and hopes.
Yeah.
Like, who do you root for in this film? Like,
I was rooting for the baker.
yes, we're all Team Baker.
Oh, yeah, I mean.
But we want him to succeed, whatever he does.
Right.
Get the girl. Or
Yeah, I know.
whatever.
Who knows what Queenie is doing?
Oh, the Queenie subplot, I did not. That turn felt forced to me.
Yes, I'm just like, it's completely against character. I mean,
Yeah. I believe the baker's name Jacob Kowalski.
yep.
Okay. And Sergio loved the water thing that he wrote. It's called a Kelpie.
Oh, Kelpie.
Yeah, and as soon as Sergio was done seeing the movie, he sent me all the different Pokemon names, and I believe he called that a Seadra.
There you go.
And the water demon was a Psyduck. Like he's like, it's the best Pokemon movie they never made. And I think that's what these movies should be, is like a Pokemon movie that just happens to tie into Harry Potter stuff.
Yeah, that's what they should have done.
Like that's kind of what the first movie was. Like it's like, oh, Grindelwald. I guess Harry Potter people know who that is, but all we basically need to know is he's the bad guy.
Raymond Niederhaus said, "What about the Phoenix?"
Okay, so there is a twist ending. It turns out the guy who plays the Flash in Justice League,
Oh yeah.
that Ryan Ezra, he turns out he's a Dumbledore. Like, whoa, he's a Dumbledore, and Grindelwald turns this chick, like it seems like a normal crow chick, because they set up, this is what a normal raven chick looks like, into a phoenix.
Yeah.
So a lot of people on Reddit are like, is this, false herring? Like, is he just a powerful wizard and Grindelwald is just lying and manipulating him?
Yeah.
That could be true.
Or is that Phoenix Fawkes that, Dumbledore has in the Harry Potter movies? Who knows? What about that Phoenix? I don't know. I don't want to touch, because like it's all speculation, and it's a cliffhanger. This movie is like the definition of a cliffhanger. It wasn't a complete story for me,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was
definitely.
just confused at the end.
You want to get into that ending?
Oh my.
Well, Mom, you're like a more passive, casual Harry Potter fan. So
Yeah.
for you, what was that ending? Like, what did you understand immediately? And what are you still,
Like, I like the original
first three Harry Potters. Yeah.
When he was young and it's all magical.
And he's discovering the wizarding world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one, it seemed like it was leading you one way, like who that young guy was. What was his name?
Jude Law's, you meant
Credence?
Credence?
Credence.
Right.
Like, so it looked like they were leading one way who he was, and then a guy calls him a whole different other name, and I was just confused. And then it was confusing what the bad guy's main character,
Grindelwald.
if he was gonna he acts like he's not against regular people, no magics or half-bloods, but then it looked like he was gonna destroy everybody.
Right. Like at one point he's talking to just his inner circle, and he's like, "Oh, we'll keep around the Muggles. We need slaves."
Yeah.
He said it nicer, but that was what it came down to. And then when he gave the big rousing Hitler speech, Hitler-esque speech, he's like, "Oh, World War II's coming. They're gonna drop bombs."
Yeah.
So we need to get, start a war with these Muggles before they get powerful enough to take us out.
Yeah.
But for some reason, Queenie's like, "Oh, he's tolerant." I'm like, what?
I mean,
And then I was confused about the really old guy that just showed up in the movie, and then all of a sudden he saves France or whatever.
Yes, all of France, all of Paris.
Credence is...
Anakin Skywalker. he's fated to be Darth Vader of the Harry Potter world.
Oh, there you go.
The whole time, see, I read one Harry Potter book, so the whole time I'm thinking he's gonna be Voldemort,
Oh.
But even though he's supposed to have like a normal father, Tom Riddle, who becomes Lord Voldemort, has a normal Muggle father.
Yeah.
So I was like, they're like talking about pure bloods and all this, and yeah, even for me, who has a little more vested interest, it was still confusing.
Hi, Kim Martin. She says, hi, guys.
Oh, hey, Kim.
Have you seen any of the Harry Potter movies?
Yeah, Kim, I'm hoping that you're a Harry Potter expert and can bail us out.
Not. Or The Grinch, or, what other movie? Oh, Spice.
Yeah, The Grinch or Johnny Depp movies. We'll take anything at this point.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Any movie you loved.
Well, yeah, I mean, this show is for you guys, but, you know, if it's somewhat related to Harry Potter, that'd be great. You know, Credence is Anakin Skywalker, very apt.
There are a lot of people that never got into the Harry Potter series, but there's
In America?
Yeah, there's a lot of people that
I
love
say
it.
anybody you can label a millennial might have a pretty vested interest. Like, I'd say 70%.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there was just a group, and Harry Potter was like an easy reader. Something that you hand off to a 5th grader or something, you know, and they just grew up with the books, you know.
Yeah.
I grew up with Lord of the Rings. You know, I read those, and those are my, you know, and then when I went back to read a Harry Potter book, I'm like, it's night and day.
Yeah.
You can't compare the two.
I just, you know, anytime there's something new,
Right.
then people just go to it.
Right. I don't know, like, it's the one fandom that I have the hardest entry to for myself. Like, there's movies I really enjoy of Harry Potter's, and they're fun and entertaining for the most part. It's just, you know, it's hard to be immersed in it, I feel.
Yeah.
Like, what is the entry point now for people, you know? Do you go back and watch the original Harry Potter movies? And, you know, it's like, how many movies? 8?
Yeah, they started doing
8.
half books at the
Yeah,
end.
half books. They're the ones who started that tradition, I believe. But yeah, 8 movies. And now it's 10, right?
I'm surprised they don't make shows out of these kind of books.
That would have been great. A
Yeah.
Harry Potter show.
Oh my gosh, they're probably already thinking about that.
What's holding them back?
Yeah,
I
seriously.
mean,
And then,
I guess getting kid actors.
yeah.
Oh, what? No,
And
any
then
kid actor would want to be in that.
Disneyland
Right.
has, or is it MGM?
No, that's Universal Studios.
Universal Studios.
Yeah, the Universal Studio parks are fun and amazing.
But they have a Harry Potter ride, right?
Yeah, ride and whole town, you know. You know, you see, like, there's the castle, and you go in the bookstore, there's a book that will eat you.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah, it has a chomping book. You gotta stroke the spine. They won't let you touch the book. But, you know, Harry Potter.
Harry Potter.
And you buy a wand and it makes stuff move in the windows.
Oh.
I believe our cousin Kiana did that last time she was there. But yeah, that ending. Let's break down the ending. Let's start off with what was the subplot or main plot that was driving us to the ending, which is the Lestrange family. So in the first movie, Newt, our hero, had a picture of Lestrange.
Yeah.
I think her name was Lila Lestrange. And so in this movie, we actually get to see her as a full character, and she's the fiance of Newt's brother.
Yeah.
So yeah, and there's a whole everybody, like, they even get a flashback where it shows like everybody hates her at Hogwarts because there's rumors that she killed her brother or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought she was going to have a bigger role at the ending.
Yes.
Like, I thought she was going to have more power and she was going to be the chosen one, but...
Or something
like
that she would join Grindelwald. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like, that was the character I expected to join and Queenie to reject it.
Yeah.
You know, if that would have been the opposite, that would have been, I felt better.
Yeah, her sacrifice was not clear.
That's another thing too. Like, it was hard to grasp that the blue fames was like join or die. Like, even the ones that are trying to teleport out were getting burned up. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, what are the rules of teleportation in Harry Potter? Like, in the
That's some strong magic.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
a little overpowered.
But yeah, and so Letta Lestrange, Credence, and her half brother, whom they thought was dead, also.
Yeah.
They're like all these brothers coming out of the woodwork, And so they finally read this thing, and Letta Lestrange fills them in. Oh, I had a brother, but I swapped him on a boat and he drowned. There was a baby drowning in a Harry Potter movie.
Well, and they also killed a baby in that one. But
Oh yeah, they didn't show it, but yeah, we had a younger cousin viewing with us, and she's like, "What happened to that baby?" And they're like, "What do we tell her?" Oh my. But yeah, so they all meet up, and it turns out Credence, who's been searching for family for 2 movies, finds out that he's still nobody, and so turns out that further in the tomb, that's where Grindelwald's having his big Hitler speech and saying, "Hey, join me," and then he does the blue flames for the wizard cops.
Yeah.
And most of them burn up,
Right.
And even one of Grindelwald's followers burns up because he wasn't all gung-ho, But Queenie, for some reason, made it through, And it looked like our heroes, Newt Scamander and his brother, were going to get burned alive, so Letta Lestrange sacrificed herself, knocked over the prophecy skull, and...
I didn't even know that.
I think that skull had to do with doing prophecies and seeing the future. Like that's what I gleaned. That's just from me being more immersed than you guys. But here's the thing: even though she disrupted the spell, it seems like for them to escape, the spell continued even after Grindelwald got out of there.
Yeah, so her sacrifice didn't seem really
Right. Because it didn't stop nothing. It just they were able to escape the immediate chamber, but then all of Paris was gonna blow up.
Yeah.
So it's like, what are the rules of the blue flame? So Sergio says Grindelwald's scene with the blue fire was awesome. They were saved by the alchemist, and that's the old guy.
Yeah.
like 200, 300 years old.
Yeah. And he's referred to in the first movie. He's the guy who had the Philosopher's Stone, the thing that could bring back Voldemort from the death, because he's been living off it forever. And like in mythology, alchemists were always looking for a way to stay alive forever.
Yeah.
And it's actually the Philosopher's Stone in the British written, but America, we don't know what a Philosopher's Stone is, so they changed it to Sorcerer's Stone for us dumb Americans.
Oh, yeah.
So that's what the old guy was about, but like it was very Last Airbender. Let's all poke our sticks in the ground together and make a earth wall.
Well, it was just confusing to me because I didn't know who really he was, and so all of a sudden,
And he came out of nowhere.
all of a sudden he just shows up in one scene where they're at,
Right.
and then all of a sudden he's called from the book.
Right. There's a
Has to
lot
go
of people
save him.
who just show up. Like the baker and Queenie just show up at Newt's place. How'd they know Newt was there? We don't know. Like it's funny. Like I expected the baker when he got uncursed or whatever, and he was in the rain, like to not be able to find his way back to Newt's house because all those British houses look the same.
Yeah, like Sergio said, like the blue flames and stuff. That was pretty cool to see.
Right.
But it's like I didn't.
Yeah,
know what
it's
was for.
visually cool, but like I kept expecting Newt to be like, oh, those blue flame dragons, they're this and this. Like they were a fantastic beast, but no, apparently it was just a spell. Mm-hmm. And also the thing inside Credence when he goes all, he turns into that leech fantastic beast, that could just as easily be a spell. Why does it have to be a fantastic beast? It seems tacked on a little bit, Whereas the blue flame dragons, that should have been tacked on. Like maybe there was something in the crypt itself that amplified once the blue flames hit it. You know, maybe there's dragons encased in stone.
So people who watch it, who did he name that kid as? Is he Dumbledore's, I can't say his name, brother, or is it his
See,
son?
even on Reddit, they didn't know. They thought it might be him or a product of assault on Dumbledore's very young sister.
So, like, is that the cliffhanger? We really don't know who he is?
That he's just possibly Dumbledore, or maybe I hope it's Grindelwald just messing with him.
Yeah.
Like saying he is that and pitting him against Dumbledore, you know, or, you know, because it's annoying because it seemed like it cheapens Dumbledore's relationship with his sister a little bit, I think. You know, that was a huge thing of the first Harry Potter movie, you know. Some comments we missed. Kim said Voldemort is like Magic Hitler. I'd say yeah.
Yeah.
What's weird though is he was a mudblood. You know, Tom Riddle had a normal father. You know, yet he was all about killing people. You know, that. I mean, I guess Hitler wasn't blonde either, but.
And they said he was like a percentage Jewish, wasn't he? His mother was.
Oh, I
didn't know that?
I didn't catch that. Is that in the movies?
Oh, you're talking about Hitler.
No.
Oh.
That's a big misinformation.
Oh, is it?
That,
Okay.
no.
Okay. I'm confused.
No. Newt's briefcase was a Pokeball.
Yeah, it basically is.
Yeah, Newt's. Yeah, it's basically a Pokeball.
They can hold a bunch of
You just
Pokemon.
open it up and
They should have used that more, you know.
Oh yeah, or maybe he actually used the suitcase to chase after him. You know, be like,
Yeah, none of these spells. Just like throw an animal out there.
right.
Like he used that bird thing a lot, and that was pretty cool.
Or it could be like the trap they had in Ghostbusters.
he's the magic creature whisperer.
Oh
He
yeah.
just ding, 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 ding.
So yeah, other than that ending, I mean, the parts leading up to it.
I thought it was very interesting, so I didn't mind the movie. I thought
Right.
it was good, it was leading up, but I was just confused about the ending.
Right, and it seemed like it didn't resolve a lot. It set up a bunch of minor stuff that kind of just went away. Like, I don't know what happened to Nagini, the snake girl. Like, that's the closest thing I recognize to Voldemort in the original
Oh
series.
yeah, the snake girl.
Yeah,
So Nagini is Voldemort's snake. That's also a not a portkey. Whatever a piece of his Horcrux. The snake was a Horcrux. Voldemort figured out a way to live forever by splitting off pieces of his soul into all these different Horcruxes. By murdering someone, and then he could break off a piece of his soul and put it in an object. So Harry Potter is one of those Horcruxes by accident. That's why Harry Potter had to die before Voldemort could beat him at the end. And same with Nagini. The snake had to be killed before all those had to be. The journal from the second one was also a Horcrux. You guys didn't catch any of that?
So supposedly these movies will show up, and then we figure out who Baltimore is.
I think Voldemort's way later because it shows in a flashback that in one of the movies that Dumbledore meets Tom Riddle in an orphanage and enrolls him in the school, but he still looks pretty old.
Yeah.
And this is like pre-World War II wizarding world, Like some people on Reddit, I think it's gonna jump way ahead because apparently Grindelwald's and Dumbledore's duel happens like 1952.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, here's a theory. I think Newt is the father of Hagrid. Wouldn't that be? I mean, think about it. He loves animals, so.
I forget which of his parents was a giant. His father or it's one of the two.
Oh, if. Oh,
Our loyal fan returns, Rachel.
Hi, Rachel.
Oh man, so much movie, so little time.
I know. My phone quit working.
Very good.
Nice.
I was wondering about that.
It just quit loading. No internet.
Interesting. Well, for those of you just joining us, we're talking Crimes of Grindelwald, a Fantastic Beasts sequel.
And any Harry Potter movie.
Harry Potter movies, but we can open this up to, magical, mystical
Movies.
movies, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or if you want to talk about The Grinch, or what's the other movie we saw?
Yeah, we saw The Grinch as well, and we could also go over the Jim Carrey one.
Oh, yeah. Which one do you think is better?
Yeah.
The Grinch's, the original?
I say the original. The
yeah,
30-minute original is the
It's
best.
really good.
But yeah, I mean, like, mom's phone issues never end. I think that's on you.
Sorry.
Oh yeah, Sergio put out my favorite quote is, "You never met a monster you couldn't love," and that was in the trailer. It's said to Newt,
Yeah.
and he loves these Fantastic Beasts, but also Letta Lestrange. She's done terrible things in her past, and he just found out that she inadvertently drowned her brother.
Well, she didn't mean to.
Right, but it was pretty terrible baby switching. That's pretty bad.
Well, she
Well,
was
it
at such
was
a young age.
It was a kid in charge of a baby, so
Yeah,
that was kind
that's
of
true.
strange.
That was odd.
Yeah.
So,
I think she was like 5 or 6 or 4. Who knows?
right.
She did not have a good life.
No,
Let's
yeah.
say that. She's
And
had a hard life.
I kept waiting for the sure connection to the original Harry Potters, because Lestrange rings out to me because the guy who killed the girl who killed Neville's parents was a Lestrange.
Oh. Yeah, those Harry Potter fans would know.
Oh, Rachel and Kim are bringing up Matilda. You guys remember Matilda?
Oh yeah.
The young girl with psychic powers. Oh, Josh, you've never seen Matilda?
I don't think so.
I didn't see it, but I.
So I
saw
put
it
that
preview.
see it within the half year.
Oh.
What's your favorite scenes from Matilda for those giving it a shout out? One of these days I'm gonna have the perfect excuse to just talk about Lord of the Rings.
Oh.
That's gonna
that'd
be
awesome.
right. So I don't know. Maybe when Amazon puts out its teaser for the new series, it's got to be years off.
Yeah.
Oh, I need a sooner excuse to do Lord of the Rings. Maybe just because it's February. February tends to, for those of you who are big movie fans, February is a very slow month for movies usually.
Yeah.
Now they've kind of found a way to make big bucks. Like Black Panther made all the money in February. Same with Deadpool.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean that's because
Taken.
they knew everyone was gonna watch it, and they needed a time where
Right. They wanted to keep it far away from the summer season.
Yeah.
Like Disney butted up with itself a little bit. I mean, I think it was way too close to Deadpool and Solo. Solo and Infinity War.
Or we were bringing up any Johnny Depp movie too.
Oh yeah, Johnny Depp movies. Yeah, and Johnny Depp was fine.
In
he's
the movie.
right. Like every character in the movie, he was barely in it. He might have gotten the most screen time.
Yeah, he was the main bad guy.
Right.
For
Yeah, he
anybody
actually
that
might have
didn't
got the
see
most.
it
Like almost equal to Newt Scamander, but it still felt like not much.
yet. Yeah. We probably don't want to bring up the controversy.
No, let's
Johnny
not.
Depp.
Let's
Okay.
not. But it'd be interesting, if they look at the box office numbers, would they replace him? You know, in the first movie, the same character was played by Colin Farrell. He just looked different.
Yeah.
Everybody wanted Colin Farrell back. A lot of people did.
Uh-huh.
I would have been happy to have Colin Farrell as the bad guy for all the movies.
Yeah.
But to each their own. Seems like wizard and magic movies tend to have child leads and a school. What about these witches, wizards, and magical people as adults? Yeah. I would have been more interested in like a continuation of the Harry Potter story instead of going back,
Go forward.
Right. And they did do a 2-part play in London, Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, and it's about Harry Potter's son. But, it...
Is that why you brought up Lord of the Rings? Because there's 2 wizards. Well, there's wizards in Lord of the Rings.
Right, there's wizards, and it's fantasy. I mean, yeah. I don't know. I just really want to do Lord of the Rings sometime. Not this episode. We'll be fully prepared, and we'll give you more fair warning when we do Lord of the Rings. Okay. Anything else? Anybody online wants to...
Well, if we do have any Harry Potter fans, what was your favorite movie?
Yeah.
That'd be...
See, mine is the first 2. Like, I really enjoyed the first 2 because, I don't know, I enjoyed that Dumbledore. And, and it was just like the intro, like everything was brand new with this magical world, and we're learning along with Harry Potter. And he keeps getting swept up into a story, and they had very clear beginnings and ends. As the movies went on, it seemed like you relied on your knowledge of the books more and more. And since I hadn't read the books, it was tougher. Like, you guys had no idea about the Horcruxes until just now. But, yeah, it was something I had to actively look up, that these magical objects were keeping Voldemort alive.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I didn't know that.
I love the part when Agatha Trunchbull, the principal, almost drank a newt in the classroom. Oh, that's from Matilda. Yeah, that's a good scene, Kim. And Sergio says, I didn't like the Jacob character. I think he doesn't belong in the movie. The baker. Mom, fight him.
He's like the quirky, funny guy that you have in movies.
Yeah, they were trying hard for him to be the comic relief, really.
Yeah.
He's great in the first one. They just don't use him in the second one. He was barely there.
Yeah. I would have wanted more and made surgery healthy to be gone.
They literally ditched him at one point. Yeah. And it seemed like he was only left behind so they could introduce the alchemist. I mean, it was poorly,
Yeah, there probably wasn't much purpose for him in the second movie.
Well,
so maybe I could understand.
Couldn't they have held back him and Queenie's storyline then? I don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
They got 3 whole more films to fill.
And it looks like she's going to be a main character in the next film, it looks like.
Yeah.
So Rachel's saying wizards are supposed to be old. Right? The Wizard of Oz or Lord of the Rings. Wizard of Oz is old.
Yeah.
Well, he's an old guy behind a curtain and a complete fraud.
Yeah.
From Kansas.
Hey, they have to start somewhere. I mean, they're young ones.
Wizards young ones. But it's more traditional that it's the old wizard with the beard. You know?
Who's very wise and knows all the magic.
And it's funny, some people on Reddit were really ticked that they don't wear robes anymore. Everybody's wearing these sharper, old-timey clothes. I'm more away from the robes. Keep the robes at the school, but,
Well, in the real world, they try to blend in, right?
But, in the Harry Potter books, apparently, they're so clueless as to Muggle life that they'll wear swimming trunks and, with a fur coat, They just don't know about Muggle stuff. It's kind of a joke, but that even doesn't make sense. They could eat... Because, they're asking Harry Potter, what is this,
So, back when these movies were made...
Right.
They kind of had themselves amongst, non-magic people.
Right. So maybe the events after all 5 of these movies are over, you could see where the schism is, and they try to keep the Wizarding World 100% separate.
Yeah.
Not just a couple, they do seem immersed, but even though they're not allowed to marry. Yeah.
It seems,
Timelines. Actually, I'm ready for a modern day wizard.
Which they kind of it was kind of modern day, but
I don't know, like someone who uses a gun and has a cell phone, you know.
Oh.
Well, that's the thing. A lot of these movies, like, you know, like, they never bring up that there are firearms and whatnot. Like,
that makes sense. Yeah.
right. It'd be tough to defend against guns all the time, you know. In a book series I love called The Dresden Files, that's set in modern day Chicago, and it's about the wizard Harry Dresden, and they have very, really unique aspect of magic. One of them being that they can't use technology.
Yeah.
Like, the older the technology, the better. So he drives like a really old Volkswagen, and he only uses a very simple revolver, you know, because it won't jam up. If you use an automatic, odds are it'll jam up. If there's cameras around, they'll go on the fritz.
Oh, yeah. Actually, Rachel brings up a good point. Like, why in Jedi? Why don't they use a gun and could you imagine swinging and shooting?
Right. Yeah. It's funny that the third prequel movie, he's like, how uncivilized. He used a blaster to take out the, you know, hard breathing robot guy. General Grievous. Obi-Wan Kenobi takes him out with the, you know, pistol, and he's like, how uncivilized. I'm like, it's a ranged weapon. You're wise enough to know that a ranged weapon's very handy, you know. And Han Solo's like, nothing beats a blaster at your side, you know. I don't know. Star Wars is gonna be
that'd be a good one.
Yeah.
Well, they should show like someone shooting at a wizard, and then the wizard just be like flicking the
right. There should be some sort of indication what would happen if they were to meet modern technology. Like, Grindelwald's like, hey, they're going to do mushroom clouds, so we're going to do blue dragon clouds.
Exactly.
Well, it seems like they can put up a shield, right?
Right.
Wizards can, and then so bullets would just fly
right,
up
but you have to know to put up a shield.
Yeah.
You know, like in a wizard's duel, you've got some time, you know, I guess, from X amount away, but, you know, someone's using, have a couple snipers, you know.
Or machine guns in World War II.
Right. Oh. Yeah, Dresden Files always bringing that up. They hire magical people, they hire normal hitmen. Like, it's very interesting, the bounce that Dresden Files. I'm holding off watching the sci-fi series of the Dresden Files because I think it was short-lived. But I'm on like 13th book of the Dresden Files. So I'd say read that today. That's my recommendation. Any other comments from those viewing us? I think we've said our piece on any scenes you want to throw out there for Crimes of Grindelwald. Are you excited to see the next one? I am less than excited. I'm still
like, I'll probably wait and see what other people say about the
right.
critics.
Yeah,
just because I was just kind of confused and disappointed at the
right.
I feel like I just put in the time, so I'm just like, well, now I just got to see the next one because I put in the time to watch this one.
Sunk cost. The sunk cost. Yeah. Yeah, I'm hesitant too, but for those fans out there, I'll watch it for opening weekend and we'll have a discussion, you know.
I'll wait till it's DVD or...
You know, I need that one Harry Potter person to just sit me down and is like, why is this great?
Yeah, they might actually agree with you.
Right. It's like having that person who saw Game of Thrones, the first episode, and then sat with you and point out, oh, that's who that guy is, that is who that guy is. That's really helpful.
That's you.
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah, that. I was the person who didn't know anything. Ronnie, he read the books and
I hadn't read the books at the time. I read the first. I watched the first season, and then I went back and read all the books I could.
Oh well, I mean, when I watch it, yeah, you point it out.
Okay, dope. Kim points out Merlin and Excalibur, classic wizard, beard, has a wand. Sword in the Stone, that was a good Merlin.
Yeah.
Turning to squirrels and birds and fish. Oh. So yeah, I think we're gonna wrap up this show. I believe next week is Creed. Thanksgiving, over Thanksgiving break. So
Yeah.
you guys
If you
go
guys
out.
like boxer Rocky movies.
Right. So yeah, Creed 2, we'll get an in-depth discussion on Creed 2, but also we'll talk about the Rocky universe. Good time to revisit those. I think Amazon for a while had all the Rockies up on Prime for free. So that'd be a good way to catch
Yeah,
up.
if you've never seen the Rocky movies.
Oh, see that this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a great film series to watch with your family after eating turkey.
Yeah, stuff with turkey.
So yeah, Creed 2 and maybe a little bit Wreck-It Ralph too. If but I think Creed 2 is a big enough subject.
Yeah.
If you guys show up and are like, hey, no, Wreck-It Ralph, okay, we'll do it. Leave us some comments. And this show's for you guys. Subscribe if you're a new person.
Yeah, or what movie do you want to talk about that's coming up?
Right. Yeah. If there's December's gonna get insane. So
yeah, a lot of movies coming out.
I think Bumblebee and Aquaman come out the same weekend.
Yeah.
Adrian.
Oh, yeah.
Adrian.
I know Kaylee, and she's probably not watching now, but she wants us to talk about Bumblebee.
Yeah, we'll definitely do Bumblebee
The
just because of our
Transformers.
dear fan Kaylee. Rachel's and Kim are just yelling Adrian in the comments.
Oh,
over and
yeah,
over.
Adrian!
Adrian.
That is a classic moment.
Right. And so for longtime fans of the show, Sergio will be back next week.
Yay! We're going home to Iowa.
Oh, yeah. Back to the cold November snow.
Into the snow.
Oh, boy. Well, thanks for joining us this week. I've been Ronnie Williams.
I'm Joshy.
I'm Gwen Williams.
And keep watching movies, and we'll keep talking about it.
Don't forget to subscribe.
Thank you. Peace out.